Welcome back, my friends. The news today is that China has become the leading car supplier to Mexico. So, what does this mean for the United States? But US officials worry this could be a part of a larger strategy by Chinese automakers to skirt trade restrictions and enter the American market. Experts say pressure from the US leaves Mexico in a difficult position of maintaining its crucial relationship with America without being overly friendly to Chinese investment. But, before we get into all of that, I would like to thank everyone who views my videos. If you would like to support the channel, please see the link to buy me a coffee in the video description below. And, please hit the like button and leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Blocked from the US by tariffs, Chinese electric vehicle makers have looked elsewhere to sell their high-tech cars. But as Mexico has emerged as a hot spot for Chinese EVs, Washington officials worry the country may be used as a backdoor to the US market. Last year, China was the leading car supplier to Mexico, exporting $4.6 billion worth of vehicles to the country, according to the Mexican Ministry of Economy. Even customers wary of EVs have been won over by affordable price tags. Tesla rival BYD sells its Dolphin Mini in Mexico for around 398,800 pesos, or about $21,300, a little over half the price of the cheapest Tesla. The Chinese automakers came to the country very aggressively, said Juan Carlos Baker, former Mexican Deputy Minister for International Trade. They have very good promotions. It's a good product that sells at a very reasonable price. Some Chinese EV makers, including BYD, have been looking for a further foothold in North America by exploring factory sites in the Mexican states of Durango, Jalisco, and Nuevo Leon. The foreign investment would be an economic boost for Mexico. BYD has claimed that a plant there would create around 10,000 jobs. Mexico is an attractive production platform, not only for Chinese companies, but for other companies as well, in part because of that free trade access that it has to the American market, said Scott Paul, president of the Alliance for American Manufacturing. And it can do something that in trade terms is called circumvention. That free trade access is part of the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, a revised iteration of the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, that removed tariffs on many goods traded between the North American countries starting in 2018. Under the agreement, if a foreign auto company manufactures in either Canada or Mexico and can prove that the building materials are sourced locally, the goods can be exported to the US virtually duty-free. We've seen China do this in other types of manufacturing as well, from appliances to auto parts to steel, said Paul. For more than a decade now, China, the United States have been playing a high-stakes game of whack-a-mole when it comes to trade policy tariffs. While meeting the USMCA requirements is difficult, the potential scenario terrifies US lawmakers and auto companies. If Chinese EV makers are able to set up in Mexico, they would definitely pose an imminent threat to American automakers, if for no other reason, because their costs would be lower, said Michael Dunn, CEO of Dunn Insights. In May, President Joe Biden announced a 100% tariff on Chinese EVs. We in the United States are just starting to scale up our EV industry, so it's what I call an infant industry, said Paul. And like any infant, it's at a very delicate time in terms of development and has to be massively protected. The rise of Chinese automakers has been a significant development in the global automotive industry, driven by several key factors. Emphasis on electrification. Chinese automakers have heavily invested in electric vehicles, EVs, capitalizing on the global shift towards sustainable transportation. Companies like BYD and NIO have become leaders in the EV market, offering competitively priced models that appeal to a broad range of consumers. The Chinese government has played a crucial role by providing subsidies, tax incentives, and support for infrastructure development, such as charging stations. This has accelerated the adoption of EVs and supported the growth of domestic automakers. Chinese automakers have made significant strides in technology, particularly in areas like battery technology, autonomous driving, and digital cockpits. This has allowed them to offer advanced features at competitive prices. Chinese automakers are not just focusing on the domestic market but are also expanding internationally. Companies like BYD have seen substantial growth in overseas sales, helping them climb the global rankings too. One of the major advantages of Chinese automakers is their ability to offer high-quality vehicles at lower prices compared to their international competitors. This has made them attractive options for consumers both in China and abroad. Chinese automakers have been quick to adapt to market demands and trends, such as the increasing preference for SUVs and crossovers. They have also been agile in responding to changes in consumer preferences and regulatory environments. Collaborations with international companies and technology firms have helped Chinese automakers enhance their capabilities and expand their market reach. These partnerships have facilitated the transfer of knowledge and technology, further boosting their competitive edge. Overall, the rise of Chinese automakers is a result of strategic investments, government support, technological innovation, and a keen understanding of market dynamics. This has positioned them as formidable players in the global automotive industry. The rise of Chinese automakers has significant implications for established global players in the automotive industry. Chinese automakers, with their competitive pricing and advanced technology, are challenging established brands in both domestic and international markets. This increased competition is pushing traditional automakers to innovate and improve their offerings to maintain market share. As Chinese brands expand globally, they are capturing market share in regions traditionally dominated by established players. This is particularly evident in the electric vehicle (EV) segment, where companies like BYD and NIO are gaining traction. The technological advancements made by Chinese automakers, especially in EVs and autonomous driving, are forcing established players to accelerate their own innovation efforts. This includes investing more in research and development to keep up with the rapid pace of change. To compete effectively, many established automakers are forming strategic partnerships with Chinese companies. These collaborations can provide access to new technologies, supply chains, and market insights, helping traditional players stay competitive. The rise of Chinese automakers is also influencing global supply chains. Established players are increasingly sourcing components from China, benefiting from cost efficiencies and technological advancements in the region. The success of Chinese automakers, supported by strong government policies, is prompting other countries to reconsider their own regulatory frameworks. This includes offering incentives for EV adoption and investing in infrastructure to support sustainable transportation. Chinese automakers are improving their brand perception by offering high-quality, technologically advanced vehicles. This shift is influencing consumer preferences, making it essential for established players to enhance their brand value and customer experience. The focus of Chinese automakers on EVs aligns with global sustainability goals. Established players are under pressure to accelerate their transition to greener technologies to meet regulatory requirements and consumer expectations. Overall, the rise of Chinese automakers is reshaping the global automotive landscape, driving innovation, and compelling established players to adapt and evolve. This dynamic environment is likely to lead to more collaboration, competition, and technological advancements in the industry. Traditional automakers face several significant challenges in adapting to the rise of Chinese automakers and the broader shifts in the automotive industry. Many established automakers have long histories with internal combustion engines, ICE. Transitioning to electric vehicles, EVs, requires substantial investment in new technologies, manufacturing processes, and supply chains. Developing new EV models and autonomous driving technologies involves high costs. Traditional automakers must balance these investments with maintaining their existing ICE vehicle lines, which constrain financial resources. Established automakers often have rigid organizational structures and processes that can slow down innovation and adaptation. In contrast, newer Chinese automakers tend to be more agile and responsive to market changes. Shifting from ICE to EVs requires significant changes in the supply chain, including sourcing new materials like lithium for batteries and establishing relationships with new suppliers. This transition can be complex and time-consuming. Navigating different regulatory environments, especially with the rapid changes in emissions standards and EV incentives, poses a challenge. Traditional automakers must stay compliant while also pushing forward with innovation. Chinese automakers are improving their brand perception by offering high-quality, technologically advanced vehicles at competitive prices. Traditional automakers need to enhance their brand value and customer experience to compete effectively. The global automotive market is becoming increasingly competitive, with new entrants and shifting consumer preferences. Traditional automakers must adapt to these dynamics while maintaining their market positions. Keeping up with rapid technological advancements in areas like autonomous driving, connected cars, and digital cockpits is essential. Traditional automakers need to invest heavily in research and development to stay competitive. Meeting global sustainability goals and reducing carbon footprints is a significant challenge. Traditional automakers must accelerate their transition to greener technologies to meet regulatory requirements and consumer expectations. Overall, traditional automakers must navigate a complex landscape of technological, financial, and organizational challenges to adapt to the rise of Chinese automakers in the evolving automotive industry. Established automakers are employing several strategies to address the supply chain adjustments required for electric vehicles, EVs. Many automakers are moving towards vertical integration to gain more control over their supply chains. This includes producing their own batteries and other key components in-house. For example, Tesla and BYD have invested heavily in battery production to ensure a steady supply and reduce dependency on external suppliers. Forming strategic partnerships with battery manufacturers and technology firms is another common approach. These collaborations help automakers secure essential materials and technologies. For instance, General Motors has partnered with LG Chem to build battery plants in the US to mitigate risks associated with supply chain disruptions. Automakers are diversifying their sources of raw materials and components. This includes sourcing from multiple suppliers and regions to ensure a more resilient supply chain. In response to geopolitical and logistical challenges, many automakers are investing in local production facilities. This not only reduces transportation costs and delays but also aligns with government incentives for local manufacturing. The Inflation Reduction Act and the American Battery Materials Initiative in the US are examples of policies encouraging local production. Automakers are also investing in new technologies to improve the efficiency and sustainability of their supply chains. This includes advancements in battery technology, recycling processes, and alternative materials to reduce reliance on scarce resources. Many traditional automakers are balancing their production lines to accommodate both internal combustion engine, ICE, vehicles and EVs. This dual approach helps them manage the transition period while continuing to serve existing markets. Improving supply chain transparency through digital tools and data analytics allows automakers to better monitor and manage their supply chains. This helps in identifying potential bottlenecks and optimizing logistics. These strategies collectively help established automakers navigate the complex transition to EVs while maintaining their competitive edge in the market. But, what do you think? Please hit the like button and leave us a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Please share this video on social media. And, before we end, a word from the sponsor of this video. Today's sponsor is ProWorldNet.com. ProWorldNet.com is a job website specifically dedicated to licensed professions, doctors, including any type of specialty nurses, and that includes all grades of nurses. Lawyers, regardless of area of legal focus. Teachers and professors, from kindergarten through graduate school. As well as any kind of job that requires a government license or certification. And ProWorldNet.com also includes short-term gig-type jobs as well. So, be sure to check out ProWorldNet.com if you are looking for a job or an employee. Thank you for watching.